Ayatollah Ali Khamenei today accused demonstrators of damaging public property to please the U.S. president.
Alberta independence is growing. Welcome back to Moose on Loose. My name's David. Today we'll be talking about Alberta independence and a massive line that had formed to sign the petition to put forward the referendum vote. We've also got updates on the potential ban of X. We got updates on Iran. We got some other stuff. Let's jump into this. Starting this one off, we got Mark Carney doing a handful of posts here. Well, his media team. This one with methane emissions, introducing new, tougher regulations to cut methane emissions and fight the C-word change. Yeah, Canadians don't care about this. Mark Carney's just doing what he cares about and how he's going to make money. This is tone deaf. I mean, look at the comments. It doesn't take far here for him getting fact checked. All of Canada's emissions have been dropping for years, and GDP production. Stop destroying our industries for your ideologies that wrongly vilify us. Got this one here. Last fall, we signed a trade deal with Indonesia, a growing nation of more than 280 million people. No, actually, Justin Trudeau signed that agreement when he was still in office. This is back 2 years ago. It was just finalized with Mark Carney. This guy loves taking credit for things he doesn't do. Also posting one with the RCMP. We're combating crime, bringing in tougher penalties for violent offenders and hiring more officers. No, you're not. There's so many examples I haven't put on the channel here. There's a recent story just the other day where a guy ended someone's life, went to jail, but then got out of it due to a technicality. It is ridiculous. Like, you basically in Canada, people are getting away with ending people's lives and not having to go to prison for it. And meanwhile, you've got the brass here of the RCMP, the upper level, protecting the Liberals for a decade. We have an update here from the Canadian government, at least from Evan Solomon, on banning X because of this whole situation with the Grok, and Evan Solomon came out with this. Contrary to media reports, Canada is not considering the ban of X. That is what he is saying. Now, really, is that what they're going to be doing? And this isn't coming from Mark Carney either. So, I mean, take it for what it is. These guys are liars, but I mean, as of right now, they say they're not going to ban X, which is a good thing. As we've got Ryan Garrettson pointing out, our government announced they weren't going to ban X. Here's a reminder of things they said they weren't going to do. Trudeau says the feds won't make pokey poke mandatory for anyone in Canada. And well, they did. You couldn't even leave the country unless you did it. Carney's team posting this, him sharpening a skate.
That's a serious skate. We got sparkles.
Don't worry, it's not. I'm not gonna just drop you into the. I'm gonna turn this on, and then you can take a practice pass. We're all right.
Ooh, I love the smell. It's funny that, you know how reminiscent the smell is? Like, you hear the smell, and it's like, okay, I'm at a rink. Here we go. By looking at the skates, Joe can tell what machine sharpened the pro. Yes, pro.
Voila.
Oh,
You sharpen the skates. Just like that.
This is all a joke to this guy. It's all a big laugh for Mark Carney. Sharpening skates. Who cares? His own words, who cares? This is what they're posting on social media when people can't afford food. So they shouldn't be surprised when they're seeing stuff like this. There's a new report's come out showed that 42% of 18 to 35-year-olds now support Alberta becoming an independent country in Canada. This is coming from Research Co., which we have right here. 3 in 10 Albertans open to independence from Canada. In the online survey of a representative national sample, 31% of Albertans support Alberta becoming an independent country from Canada, up 9% from a similar poll they did in June of 2023. It says 3 in 5 Albertans, or 62%, are opposed to independence, which has dropped by 9%. 7% are undecided. It says 2 in 5 Albertans aged 18 to 34, 42% support Alberta becoming its own country, and that's up 15%, which is huge. The proportions are lower among those aged 35 to 54, 27%, it's up 2, and those aged 55 and over is 25% plus 9. Goes on to say separatist feelings rose across 3 major regions of the province. More than 3 in 10 residents of the Calgary metropolitan area, 31% plus 5, voiced support for Alberta independence, along with 29% of Edmonton, plus 5, and 34% of those who live elsewhere in the province, plus 11. You're not seeing a lot of negative numbers here at all. The only negative we saw here is this one, where people who are opposed is dropping. It goes on to say that UCP voters are in favor of independence. This is a real movement here, and this is a real problem for Mark Carney, especially you got it from the Bloc as well, or Quebec, and you're seeing this from Saskatchewan. And with that, the new petition that needs 177,000 signatures in 30 days opened up, and look at this. There's a lineup that's 3 hours long for people to sign this. They're standing out in the cold.
Over there, because it curves all the way up.
So the left can say all they want, CBC, the pundits, they can say this is not a real thing. This is a real thing. People are waiting in the cold in Calgary to sign a petition to separate.
In the cold.
And you see there's some older folk here. There's actually a lot of older folk here. It's not all just like the young crew here. I grew up just outside of Calgary, and my family too, they're considering it. They're not against it at all. Here's a couple photos from the event. Albertans have had enough. I mean, Alberta gets treated like garbage from the federal government. Our country's coming to a major clash here, and maybe that's because China is funding a lot of these leftist protesters that's just stirring up all this stuff, and that's China's plan. Look what we've got in Toronto here, which did break news worldwide. I saw this was being posted in the UK. It's just basically turning out into borderline riots.
This is the craziest we've ever seen. Yeah.
So there's a lot of pushing here, a lot of lefties just pushing back against the cops. So you see the line of cops is here. You got the left over here and the right over here. So one of these lefties is going to sock one of the police right in the face with a hook, and then all hell breaks loose. So we're going to look at this cop right here. He pushes this guy back, and this guy punches him like basically right in the eye. Boom! Ooh, so he gets him up high right in the temple.
Holy shit! Holy shit! The cop! Oh my God! He hit the cop! He hit the cop! Oh!
So it's starting to get a little too rowdy. The cops, yeah, put him down there, cuff him. We have another angle here of the same thing.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
These people are ravenous animals. And the worst part is a lot of them are being paid to disrupt society.
Yeah.
So you essentially have real Canadians on one side and a bunch of these wackos, who knows if they're even Canadians at all, trying to disturb society once again, blocking roads, wreaking havoc, terrorizing our citizens, going into all the Jewish stores, the cafes, all that, and just threatening people endlessly.
Fascist! Fascist! That's what fascist gets! This is unbelievable! Let's go!
So yeah, it's just ravenous. They arrest that guy. I mean, these guys with their cardboard signs. So Canadians are pushing back, but I mean, this is coming to a head here. Canada's had enough of this garbage, constantly disrupting our lives. It's time to deport all these people. So these lefties are not Canadians. They're paid agitators paid by China and Hezbollah. Sam Cooper dropped that bombshell recently on Brian Lilly's podcast, I believe, saying that Hezbollah was the one that's shipping all the cars out of the Port of Montreal and then getting paid for it. And then that money then goes to keep funding the street candy. And they're wrapped up in all this. All this stuff's tied. And we look at the madness that's going down in America. Look what's happening in Minneapolis. This army of nutcases, these wingnuts, these left-wing wingnuts are trying to find ice in hotels and houses, surrounding buildings. They don't even know if they're in there. They're just smashing things and destroying things. They're completely insane. It is an aerial view in Minneapolis. Like, here we've got rioters breaking into businesses downtown Minneapolis. These people all just need to be arrested. I mean, what are they doing here?
This is insane.
What's the point? They're not even doing anything. They're just breaking stuff and destroying buildings and glass and society. Meanwhile, in France, Macron's police are arresting more farmers.
On m'embarque à la police. Non, pas du tout, monsieur. On m'embarque. Calmez, s'il vous plaît, monsieur. Venez avec nous. Je suis un simple citoyen. On m'embarque. T'es syndicat? T'es un syndicat? Syndicat.
So I don't know what he's saying. These countries have turned into complete crap holes. Now, another country fighting for their freedom is Iran. All sorts of rumors that they've gotten the Ayatollah and all this stuff. I don't know what's true, but we've got a video here showing them burning down the Al-Rusk mosque in Tehran, saying Iranians are completely done with the Islamic regime. I've seen reports of 1 to 1.5 million people in the streets across all the cities. I don't know what's true. I think there's definitely a lot of people. I don't know if it's that many, but the Iranians trying to take their country back from the dictatorship. Moving ahead, we've got the Ayatollah of Iran is now blaming Donald Trump for his own citizens protesting against him.
Iran's supreme leader delivered an urgent televised address this morning in response to widespread protests that continue across the country and overnight. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei today accused demonstrators of damaging public property to please the U.S. president. His speech comes as Iranian authorities impose an internet and phone blackout in an effort to suppress the ability of protesters to organize.
This is so ridiculous. He cuts off the internet and then blames the people for protesting against his dictatorship regime, blaming Donald Trump. This has nothing to do with Donald Trump. These people want to be free. He cuts off the internet. Should stick this guy in a cannon and fire him into a volcano.
Anti-government protests you're seeing there have been driven mainly by economic hardship, especially high inflation, the collapsing currency, and now soaring food prices. The unrest has been growing, and it's increased pressure on the ruling regime, presenting one of the most serious threats to the clerical establishment in recent memory. For more on this, let's bring in...
Basically, the Ayatollah doesn't want these images going out around the world that the people are revolting there. That's what he doesn't want. It's controlling the people. Trump should go over there and nab him too.
Eventually, we could again tonight see more of these large demonstrations. Images might take a while to get out, but we do know that Reza Pahlavi, the son of the late Shah, is encouraging people, posting on social media, telling them to go back out on the streets. He did last night, potentially will again today, saying the eyes of the world are upon you, take to the streets. At the same time, we do know that there's great concerns given the words of the supreme leader and those threats. We have the flights from Turkey to Iranian locations canceled, flights out of Dubai canceled. So there is a lot of worry about exactly what is going to happen tonight and in the coming days, Susan.
We also know the world has been watching, of course, very closely these 2 weeks of demonstrations. What are we hearing internationally about the growing pressure on the regime in Iran?
Well, the most obvious one, the one we should start with, is the United States. Of course, just a couple of days ago, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to take military action against Iran if demonstrators were killed. He said that there would be very strong action if there were
They are, I've seen videos on X. They're just awful. People just in the streets, just out, like gone, numerous, dozens of them.
Demonstrators killed, like we have seen in the past. There are a lot of violence against them, trying to suppress these sort of demonstrations, and we saw that in some of the other ones. Let's hear from J.D. Vance, who talked about what America could do and their support of these demonstrations.
We certainly stand by anybody who's engaged in peaceful protest, anybody who's trying to exert their rights for free association and to have their voices heard. Obviously, the Iranian regime has a lot of problems, and as the President of the United States has said, the smartest thing for them to have done, it was true 2 months ago, it's true today, is for them to actually have a real negotiation with the United States about what we need to see when it comes to their nuclear program. I'll let the president speak to what we're going to do in the future, but we certainly stand with anybody across the world, including the Iranian people who are advocating for their rights.
So there, the U.S. Vice President talking about supporting individuals for their right to express themselves. We have heard from French officials as well. They are encouraging Iranian officials to act with restraint when it comes to these protests. Susan?
This could turn into another major clash. Donald Trump might send over the troops over there and the Delta Force to take care of him too, because the supreme leader, the Ayatollah, is not stepping back.
Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, says that the Islamic Republic will not back down in the face of saboteurs. In an address to his supporters. In a televised address, he committed to cracking down on what he calls troublemakers and harmful people. He also said that President Trump's hands are stained with the blood of 1,000 Iranians, referring to the 12-day war with Israel. Well, this morning, there were gatherings in an undisclosed location in Iran in support of the government and the Ayatollah's regime. It comes as large crowds of protesters have been marching through the Iranian capital, Tehran, in what's been described as some of the largest demonstrations against the ruling regime for more than 15 years. What began as anger over a deepening economic crisis in the country has now also turned into calls for the overthrow of Iran's supreme leader.
In towns and cities across Iran, protesters have taken over the streets, tens of thousands of them in extraordinary scenes posted on social media. For days, there's been unrest in Iran, sparked by an economic crisis.
This is just another powder keg waiting to blow here. He's egging on Donald Trump. What do you think Donald Trump's going to do? Is he going to sit back?
Delete our online conversation. Human rights groups have accused the security forces of using excessive force as the protests spread nationwide, with more and more people from all walks of life getting involved.
In the short term, this is not going to go well. Eventually, the Ayatollah here is probably going to lose control, and he'd be best to go hide in a cave right about now. Moving ahead, we've got a drunk man playing with a sword near children tobogganing at Bellowswood Park in Toronto. This is a real story out of Canada. Okay, so we're gonna have to get rid of the creepy music, but yeah, so yeah, it looks like he's wearing gardening gloves, and he has himself a I don't know what kind of sword that is, actually. Looks like some sort of Middle Eastern sword, and he's batting around his hat with his sword. This is what oh boy, this is not gonna end well. This took a turn for the worse, folks. Watch out. Stay away from the crazy guy. This goes on for a minute and a half. Oh, great. Now he's he's standing up there. This is real good. Yeah. Okay. Time to call the cops. And don't worry. Yep. Oh. Only in Canada.